It might say Nick Steers, but he is just the CEO of the committee.
Chairman emeritus.
Chairman emeritus.
Right.
Oh, I thought you were an active chairman.
Yeah, well, both.
Okay, both.
Active chairman, but I'm representing the committee, which is why we've changed the hair so everyone knows the views espoused here. I might agree with some of them, I might not. These are the views of the committee. So let's get right to it, Coach. And great to have you in studio for the Tiers once again. All right, listen, bottom part, these teams, apologies Seattle, Chicago, and Cleveland, who actually won games, but you're still not ranked. Patriots, lowest ranked of all time. They're down there with the Jets and the Falcons. All right, happy, sad to be here. Bottom rung on the Tiers. So what do we mean happy, sad to be here? The Cowboys and the Titans can't believe they're already at the bottom of the tiers. Meanwhile, the Steelers, Jags, Washington, and the Giants are thrilled they're actually ranked. So they're happy, sad to be here. Need to see more. Next group of the tiers. All right, so let's go through it. Indy. Is this just your typical Frank Reich week one woes, or is it more there? Oh, or Las Vegas. Derek Carr's worst game of his career. Is that going to continue? Miami, you looked great, but you were playing arguably the worst team in football. So who really knows? New Orleans, why were you down 3 scores in the fourth quarter? And Arizona, you did everything poorly, but you were playing an unmitigated juggernaut. So we just need to see more. All right, must-win weekend. Talk about 5 teams who the schedule is doing a favor for. All 5 of these teams are touchdown or more favorites. All of them except for one are at home. So all of these teams, I expect in San Francisco, the Rams, the Bengals, the Broncos, and the Packers to get wins this weekend. If any of them don't, it is true panic time, but they all should get to 1-1. All right, next. Great start. All 3 of these teams got exactly what they wanted out of week 1. For Tampa, you saw that, does Julio Jones have something left? Yeah. Maybe. And is the defense even better than it was last year? Maybe. For the Eagles, you spent a first-round pick on A.J. Brown. Is that going to be worth it? Sure, it looks like it. And for the Vikings, you beat your divisional rival. Justin Jefferson looked like he was going to speak it into existence, becoming the best receiver in the NFL. And your defense held up far better than anyone could have expected. An outstanding start. Simply stacked. These 2 teams are not right now top 2 teams in the AFC. But I think they're better than every team in the NFC. I think the Ravens and Chargers right now, at this moment, no real weaknesses on the roster. They look, while healthy, and the Ravens still need to get Ronnie Stanley back, look as talented as any team in the league. The Chargers have an argument that 1 through 53 to have the best roster in the entire league. And now we get to the top 2 teams. Number 1 contenders. A team that I had my question marks about going into the year, but they sure seem to answer them in week 1, the Buffalo Bills. The question with the Bills is a very simple one. It's not what your ceiling is, it's what your floor is. Are you going to avoid the losses you had last year against Jacksonville or Indy or Pittsburgh or most embarrassingly New England? Or are you going to continue to sustain this level of play? Because we know at your best you can play with anyone and beat literally anyone in football except for the Chiefs in January in Arrowhead. And that gives us number 1.
Okay.
Top of the tiers, the favorites.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, surprise, surprise. The committee saw your letters and took quite a bit of grief for installing the Chiefs as favorites in the preseason. And then week 1 happened, and all of a sudden, did the rate of postage go up? Not getting so many letters this week, is the committee. P.O. Box still available. But when you drop 44 on the road, when the defense holds, Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury offense to 7 points until you start pulling starters, nobody really has an issue. So there it is, Coach. There's the committee's week 2 NFL team.
Pretty good.
It's good to be back, isn't it?
It is good to be back. With that haircut, I feel like I'm back at Wesleyan in like my philosophy class. And it's similar too because that professor talked about a lot of things I couldn't understand. So let's just start at the bottom. How do you, with the Seahawks, so they went over a well-regarded Denver team, but they're not to be named. The Browns, they can run on anybody. Yeah. 5.2 yards a carry, but they're not to be considered. The Texans, they tie Indy, but that doesn't mean anything. The Bears have a big win over a well-regarded San Francisco team, and then obviously you hate the Patriots, and you over-exaggerate the first week loss. So we can just go there.
You know what a wise man told me?
Let's
not overreact to week 1. Somebody's got to win week 1. Doesn't mean they're good teams.
I totally get that because we definitely overreacted up above.
Yeah.
The must-win weekend, I just hate that category.
But they're all 0-1, and they all must win. I just want to throw that out.
Okay. And then great start. So you say the Eagles had a great start. So they win the game thinking, okay, we want to blow a 17-point lead and give up 35 points. That's exactly what we want to do.
They got pushed around a bit.
So they're in the great start category. Oh, okay. And then the Ravens, who did they beat?
The Jets.
Okay, so that definitely defines them as a simply stacked team. And then the Chiefs, I get it. I get the Chiefs, but everything should just be an asterisk with the Chiefs with you because you're so biased that you can't even consider.
There's several. We don't know how many people are on the committee, but
thank you.
It's more. It's not just Nick making these.
Is it full committee like when kids have imaginary friends?
How dare you? That's on me too. That's on me too.
And I will throw them in the trash.
That's a lot.
That's rude.
That was too much.
Rude. It's
that
rude.
was too.
And you know what? And you know how we know someone has no great argument against the Chiefs when they resort to ad hominem attacks.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden there's non sequiturs flying about, and it's like, oh, you're talking about Nick's lack of friends, as opposed to addressing the argument on its merits.
It wasn't saying you lacked friends. It just said that the committee might be a made up.
No, how dare you? How dare you?
I think
that's a franchise on the show.
I consider myself a friend.
Well, yeah, and you're just bitter that you haven't been invited to be a part of the committee.
And sometimes friends have to tell you when you have spinach in your teeth. Those are good friends. Those are the ones that care.
Bro, my goodness.
Wow, that was harsh. Coach, you not only chastised Nick, you chastised me because I was about to give Nick some love. I had a whole little soliloquy planned out.
I'm glad I could wake you up from that
I was
nightmare.
about to. I thought it was looking pretty
You're
good.
welcome.
I deserve it.
I mean, the Eagles, some of the rankings I didn't agree with. I think the Eagles are too high. But then when I look at the great start, the names of the tiers, I'm like, you know what? Okay. And Coach is right, though. They were up big, and they turned into a barn burner.
35 points against Detroit.
Yeah, but great start for them, right? I don't think they're as good as people think, but could move the Buccaneers up. But, I don't know if they're simply stacked, although with Julio turning back the clock, he could be up.
You just say it's perfect.
But it's not. This is the one thing. There's always something, all right?
What's the one thing?
You should move the Bills ahead of the Chiefs.
Wow.
The Bills should be the favorite. Here's why. This is purely objective facts.
Tell me.
They beat the defending champions, Super Bowl champions. You beat a team that I don't even think is in the tiers. Arizona. All right, that's number one. Well, are they below the line, Arizona?
No.
They're on the last line or the sixth level, whatever it is.
One of the 7 categories?
Yeah, they're way down there. That's number one. Yeah. They sacked the Rams 7 times. That's the most ever for a Sean McVay team has given up. That's impressive. They never punted against an Aaron Donald defense. Never were forced to punt. I mean, what? And they would have scored 50. Yeah, you don't like it. That's commonplace with the Patriots.
Okay.
But they would have scored 50 against that defense if they hadn't turned the ball over 4 times.
They would have scored 50.
I think they would have got close to 50.
They scored 31?
They were more impressive than the Chiefs. That's the thing. They should be flip-flopped.
Almost scored 50. There's no what if they're not.
They played a 7-tier team.
Okay.
A 7-tier team.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Listen. Can I do the too long didn't read version of Broussard's critique?
Sure.
The Bills should be number 1 because they're my Super Bowl pick.
Well, that too. But that's just a fact,
that's fine.
though.
The Bills, I have massive respect for the Bills. I have massive respect for Josh Allen. Right now, I argued, by the way, so everyone can attack me for this, I argued to have the Chargers ahead of the Bills. The committee overruled me. Okay. The committee said that Bills need to be at least number 1 contenders. I think Chargers is a better team.
All right. I'm going to have a petition for one team. And I'm going to respect the committee while I do it. I want this petition to fall on kind ears. I would like the Giants to move up 1 tier. That's it. I'm not going to rip the whole tier down for the following reason. Number 1, that dangerous Wink Martindale defense. Fresh from the Ravens, where he had a top 10 scoring defense 3 of the last 4 years. And look at my man Crowder decleating King Henry. Pro Football Focus, and we know tackling's an issue in week 1, gave the Giants the 2nd highest tackling grade. So the defense looks good. Reason number 2, guess who's back? What? Is it a new Taylor Swift album? No, Broussard, it's Saquon Barkley. Even more anticipated. Offensive Player of the Week alongside Patrick Mahomes. Look at these stats. What in the world?
He was outstanding.
He's fantastic. He's back in a major way. And finally, a little bit of magic. Little coaching change. Next thing you know, coach's guy, Brian Daboll, Patriots pedigree, comes in and really energizes everybody, all of the New York region, since nobody's that excited about the Jets. Puts on Juicy, starts dancing in the locker room after he makes the gutsiest, the anti-Nathaniel Hackett call, gets everybody fired up. Now you got Baker coming into New York, going to have another win. Giants on the way up. That is my kind petition to you and the committee.
So you should know the committee, because we discussed via group chat throughout all of Sunday football.
Of course.
After that 2-point conversion, the Giants were going to be on that next tier up, that happy, some sad. The committee, and myself as well, a little disturbed by that final defensive possession because it gets glossed over. But the Titans, with a minute left, a field goal to beat you, they didn't just get in like Nathaniel Hackett field goal range. Yeah. They got in real field goal range. But Randy Bullock, who once got me kicked off a Texans team plane, tell that story off the air, that happened a decade ago, missed the kick. And if the Titans make that kick, then we're not talking about any of this. It's still a nice moment for Daboll, and Saquon has the big game. So because they were so bad in the first half, 0 points, and because at the very end of the game, they didn't exactly stifle Tennessee. They just got lucky that Bullock missed the kick. We're gonna leave them where they were. Okay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.